Alright, welcome to this video. So now in this video, we're going to look at how to quickly rig and animate this character. So this character was given to us by a user by the name Aravin Confirm. I hope I pronounced that correctly. So this user, I believe, got Rig-GNS to rig his own custom character and not DAZ figures. Rig-GNS originally was only compatible with DAZ figures. It was for rigging DAZ figures here in Blender. But I think around version 4.1 we added this feature for rigging non-DAZ characters. As you can see, this character is definitely not from DAZ. Alright, so now to start, I will select the main body of the character. Of course, the character needs to be a humanoid full-bodied figure with arms and legs. Now I'll click the setup custom figure button here, and that maximizes the screen. So here in these head parts, you want to make sure you have all the head parts selected. So now we have the eyes missing, but it detected the upper teeth, the lower teeth, and the tongue. Let me expand this so we can confirm it detected the correct body part. So let's start with upper teeth and then click this button to reveal that. Now I can confirm it detected the correct mesh. So let's do the same for the lower teeth. Click this button. Okay, the correct mesh. And then the tongue. Okay. So now for the missing eye mesh, I'll just click this eyedropper and then select the eye. We can confirm it has the correct mesh. I think the eye detection failed because the two spherical eye meshes are merged together. The algorithm is designed to identify separate spherical meshes positioned on opposite side of the y-axis. So this overlap likely prevented it from detecting the eyes correctly. Alright, so now let's unisolate the eyes. Down here, we have the click shoulder button. Before I click these, I'm going to leave this autofocus enabled because it's going to direct the viewport to where I need to click. So I'll go ahead and click shoulder and place the shoulder marker. So next we have click elbow and also place the marker there. So with every click, we can see the progress checkbox down here. So I'll go ahead and click the next one, which is the wrist, then nipple, then the navel, somewhere around here. All right. Then click the hip, the knee, and the ankle. Now I'll click create armature. So now with the armature created, you want to quickly go through and make sure you have the bones correctly placed in areas like the neck and the hand, especially the fingers. So you want to check those, and also maybe the toe bones. Okay, you want to confirm all those are correctly placed. Alright, so since no correction is needed, I'll just go ahead and start rigging the face. I'll return to the panel and start with click chin. The autofocus zooms in on the face, so I'll just mark the chin and then click lower lip. Place the marker there. So this is a good time to point out that your mesh needs to have a good topology. Placing the lower lip marker assumes there's a continuous edge loop around the mouth. The algorithm uses this loop to detect the left and right corners of the mouth as well as the top of the mouth. So this is just to reduce the numbers of markers you will need to place manually. So instead of placing one marker on this corner and then another at the top and then this corner, you only need to place the lower lip marker. Alright, so let's go ahead and click the lower eyelid. Place the marker there. This also uses the edge loop around the eyes to detect the different parts it needs for the bone placement. So next we have click earlobe. So place that there and then click forehead. So somewhere around here. Okay, so now I'll return to the panel and click add meta rig, then match rig. Alright, so at this point you want to pause and quickly go through the rig and see how the bones are being placed. The characters here is preventing me from seeing the bones placement clearly. So I'm going to select the body mesh and then select the rig, then go to local view and zoom in on the face. Okay, I can see the bones around the ear needs a bit of adjustment. I'll go to edit mode, turn on x-axis mirror. I also like to enable snapping and have it set to face. Now I'll select this point of the bone and then move that and place it around here. Also move this point and adjust this point as well. Okay. I will also make adjustment to the bones of the eyes and move these outward a little. Alright. Maybe also adjust these points and also this. Okay. I think I'll also make adjustment to the bones of the mouth. I'll move this bone, place that somewhere around here, and I'll do the same for the bottom one. Okay, I believe those are all the adjustments I'll be making. So I'll turn off snapping and return this to how it was, and then I'll return to global view. Alright, so now I'm going to check the eye target bone, the bone responsible for controlling the direction the eyeballs are pointing. So with the rig selected, I'll switch to edit mode and then go to wireframe mode. So now I'll select the eye bone. I don't trust that this was placed correctly because of the issue I noticed earlier, where part of the eye meshes intersects across the y-axis. So now with the eye selected, I'll switch to edit mode, deselect all vertices, and then press L with the mouse on the eyes to select just the island. Now with just one of the eyeballs selected, I'll press Shift S and then cursor to selected. That places the 3D cursor at the center of the sphere. So next, I'll return to solid view, go to object mode, select the rig and switch to edit mode, and again wireframe mode. Now I'll select only the head of the eye target bone. Let me find a better angle. Alright, so I'll select the head. Because X-axis mirror is enabled, when I move the bone you can see its mirrors on the other side. So now I'll switch to side view, zoom out for a better angle, and then move the head till it aligns with the 3D cursor. I prefer doing it this way because it preserves the bone roll rather than using the snap to 3D cursor, which messes with the bone roll. So with that done, let's return to solid view and then objects mode. Now we can go ahead and click generate rig. I should point out this issue probably will not affect most users. It only happened here because the eye islands on this character are fused into each other. So that was just a quick fix in case the eye target isn't working correctly after generating the rig. The rig has been generated, so we can go ahead and click rig figure and wait for that to finish. Okay, so now we have the figure fully rigged. The next thing now is to test the rig. So I'll select the torso bone and move that around. Okay, the first thing you notice is the hair is not following the head of the character. So let's fix that. So I'll click back to previous. Now I'll return to object mode. Now our friend Aravind already have the hair parented to this empty. So now with the empty selected, I'll hold down shift and select the rig, then switch to pose mode, not edit mode. Then I'll select this head control, press Ctrl P and then select bone. So now when I rotate the head bone, the hair follows. Alright, now I'll just keep testing the rig. I'll select this eye target bone and move that around to ensure the eyes are moving correctly. Okay, let's also select this jaw bone that controls the mouth. Let me quickly go to the toolbar and select this transform gizmo and then use that to open the mouth on the x-axis. The mouth is deforming fine. Let's also look at the tongue. Let me upbeat this way and then use the gizmo to pull the tongue out and then rotate it down. I can also bring this down and then scale it on the x-axis. Let's also test these mouth controls. Let me turn on x-axis mirror and now it mirrors on the other side. Let's move this one. So you can see the mouth controls are deforming the mouth correctly. Let me quickly enable the subdivision modifier. This armature modifier needs to be at the top of the stack. So now I'll enable the subdivision modifier and you can see the deformation looks neat. So now I'll just continue testing the rig. Select that, go to pose mode. I'll select the torso bone here and move these around. So suddenly my viewport is laggy. I think that's because we turned on subdivision modifier. So let's quickly disable that. I'll also check the cloth and see whether it has a subdivision modifier enabled. It's disabled here. So I'll select the rig, go to pose mode. Now when I move the torso bone around, you can see it's no longer laggy. You know, some users don't really like that when they move the torso bone, the character stretches like this. Because I've received several complaints from users who think this stretchy nature of the character is a bug. It is normal for the rig to behave this way, but we've gone ahead and added a feature where you can disable the stretchiness, and that is in the kinematics tab. So we have this button, IK stretch. So when I disable that and then move the torso bone, you can see the arms and legs come with it. But you can also see the IK controllers of the hands and the leg remain where they are. So now when I enable it back on and then move the torso bone, you can see the hands and the legs return to where their respective controllers are, and that is the reason it's stretchy. Alright, so now let's test the figure with a mocap animation. So I'm going to go to import and import motion, FBX motion, and go to my downloads. So these are animations I downloaded from Mixamo when making a video on combining different mocaps. You can check that out if you haven't. What I'm going to do instead, I'm going to go to this motion folder where I have some animations I got from Actor Core, and I'll select this dance graceful. And then with that imported, I'll click the bind button to have it retargeted to the figure. Now when I play the animation, I want you to pay close attention to the feet. You can see the character is somewhat gliding with the feet sliding across the ground. So this is happening because the original armature used for the mocap has a very different height from this character. Most mocap rigs from Mixamo, Rococo, Actor Core, Quick Magic, or even DAZ are based on characters that are around 1.8 meters tall. So when we retarget the animation to characters that are much shorter or taller, we tend to get some movement mismatch like the foot sliding as we are seeing here. So one of the recent updates was added specifically to fix this issue. So coming over to the adjustment tab, we now have this motion height field. As you can see, it automatically detects the character's height. So all we need to do now is click apply, which then adjusts the mocap height to match that of the character. Now let's return to the beginning and play the animation again. And now you can see the sliding is gone as the character's feet move as they should. Alright, so I'll end this video here. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, don't forget to give the video a like. If you have any question or thoughts, feel free to leave them in the comments below. You will also find a link to Rig-GNS in the description if you would like to try the free version. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.